I'm in Birkenhead, admiring the Grade 2 listed Victorian station building at Hamilton Square, one of 34 stations on Merseyrail Wirral Line. Don't you just like that tower promising frequent electric trains? The faded lettering relates to a previous Mersey Railway era. So come with me as we discover facts and the odd secret about the Wirral Line. Also, find out which station I think should go towards the top of any bucket list, and here is a short glimpse. From Hamilton Square, trains head under the River Mersey and loop anti-clockwise underneath the city centre and back to Hamilton Square before heading to either Chester, Ellesmere Port, New Brighton or West Kirby. Hamilton Square is one of 5 entirely underground stations on the Wirral Line, though some would argue that Conway Park could be added to the list. Beneath the city centre are the 2 closest stations on the entire Merseyrail network, as James Street and Moorfield are just 23 chains or around 463 metres apart. It took just 57 seconds to travel between the 2. Before we head back to the Wirral, have you spotted the secret-looking entrance outside Lime Street Station, which provides access to the Merseyrail platform? And something not so secret is the ghostly platform at James Street with a track that allows Merseyrail trains to move between the Wirral and Northern lines. Heading towards West Kirby and New Brighton, Conmway Park Station is the most recent addition to the Wirral Line, having been opened in June 1988. The platforms are below street level in what was a section of tunnel, which you can see at either end. The tunnel roof wasn't replaced during construction of the station. The first station on the branch to West Kirby is Bidston, where you can get a good vantage point from the footbridge. It is here that Merseyrail meets Transport for Wales, as Bidston is the northern end of TfW's hourly Borderlands Line service to and from Wrexham Central. Originally opened in 1866, the station has been relatively isolated for much of its existence and actually has been closed and reopened twice due to low passenger numbers. I got a taste of the future seeing both the Class 777 and Class 230 at the island platform. Hoylake Station is one for the must-visit list when exploring the Wirral Line. It was in the spotlight during July 2023 as nearby Royal Liverpool Golf Club hosted the 151st British Open. The Art Deco-style station building on the Liverpool-bound platform dates back to 1938 and was designed by notable railway architect William Henry Hamlin. It is Grade 2 listed, and features I like include the clerestory over the ticket hall and the ticket inspector's booth. We are near the end of this branch, and one stop after Hoylake is West Kirby, a terminus station and also a town I particularly like visiting. There is an island platform as well as sidings, and the station building is well worth seeing too. Close to the current station was another station at the end of a former line from Hooton to West Kirby via Heswall, which closed to passengers in 1954. The route is now the Wirral Way footpath, and you can walk all the way to Hooton. Also, the next time you're in West Kirby, head towards the beach and take a walk around Marine Lake, or even, as I mentioned earlier, walk along the Wirral Way footpath. Birkenhead Central Station, which opened in 1886, was the location of Mersey Railway's headquarters. I do like the bridge and the walk down to the Chester-bound platform here. The adjacent disused depot maintained Class 503 trains, which I remember from when I first travelled around the current Merseyrail network during the early 1980s. And now on to Green Lane, a station I could create a video about on its own. Where do I start? The location in a cutting is fabulous, complete with moss and random trees. The station building has some age, and an illustration I've seen suggests it dates back to when the station was opened in 1886. Take a short walk from the station and you'll come across a low bridge, With the current station being in a cutting, it couldn't possibly carry the current Merseyrail tracks. So, what was it used for? This was the line into the former Birkenhead Woodside station. As I said in the intro, Green Lane should go towards the top of any bucket list. It really is wonderful. Just 58 chains or 1.16 kilometres south of Green Lane is Rock Ferry Station. Here, services used to terminate as this was the end of the third rail on this branch until 1985. Have you spotted the partially hidden crumbling mosaic which encouraged people to think about the planet and use the bus or train? Continuing south, we arrive at Port Sunlight, the model village built by the Lever brothers for workers at their soap factory. It has 900 Grade 2 listed buildings set in 130 acres of parkland and gardens. The station is pleasant too, with a curious station building built in what I think looks like the style of a village hall. Close to the station is a commemorative tree planted by the late Queen in 1988. Having spent some time walking around Port Sunlight, I do recommend leaving the station and exploring the area. Also, next time you're on the southbound platform, look over the fence to what are possibly tracks to the former Birkenhead Woodside station. The station building at Hooton is impressive, and in the past you could catch a direct train to London from here until 1967. Hooton is a junction station as the track splits into the Chester and Ellesmere Port branches to the south of the station. Currently, there are 4 platforms, though only 2 are in regular use. The station was much larger, with additional platforms for the line from West Kirby I mentioned earlier. Perhaps a relic from the past is this building, which I spotted whilst walking around on the footpath alongside the station. Anyone know what this secret building is? The reminder at the end of the platform at Hooton asks drivers to check if they stop at Capenhurst. More on Capenhurst after we make a quick trip down the Ellesmere Port branch. Unlike other Merseyrail services, Ellesmere Port has a half-hourly service to and from the city centre. The station also has a very infrequent northern train service to Helsby via Ince and Elton. Capenhurst is perhaps the most awkward Merseyrail station to visit, as not all trains between Chester and Liverpool city centre stop here. I will boldly suggest that it is the only station on the Merseyrail network that has fast passenger trains that don't stop. I really can't think of any others. It does have a rural location and, on the day I visited, a cancelled train resulted in a longer stay than anticipated. When trains skip Capenhurst, the distance between Hooton and Bache is a whopping 7 miles 198 yards or 11.18 kilometres. I've just given something away that was a secret to me. How to pronounce a station name? It is Bache rather than Bache. The station, in the north part of the city of Chester, opened in 1984, around the same time as the adjacent supermarket built on the site of a former coal yard.
We are now approaching Chester.
And now to Chester, the final stop on this video. Discounting Lime Street, as the low-level Merseyrail station is separate from the main line station, this is the largest station on the entire Merseyrail network, and trains to and from Liverpool city centre use platform 7B. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one.